Prime Minister Mark Carney is promising substantial funding to fix the on-reserve child welfare system. Carney's announcement comes as the federal government faces down a court-ordered deadline to come up with a plan. But, as Olivia Stefanovich explains, it's at odds with a competing vision.
We will complete the crucial work.
A pledge from the Prime Minister to fix First Nations child and family services once and for all.
Our approach to child welfare will be First Nations-led, community-led, and it will be supported by significant additional funding.
After almost 2 decades of litigation between First Nations and the federal government, the Canadian Human Rights Tribunal has set a deadline of December 22nd, the day Ottawa must submit its plan to reform the on-reserve foster care system.
This moment in time will go down in history.
But Carney's government isn't the only one preparing a proposal.
And so we're going to file some next steps.
CBC News got behind-the-scenes access to a session at the Assembly of First Nations Special Chiefs Assembly, hosted by the National Children's Chiefs Commission, directed by the AFN to come up with a counterplan.
We've got 25 years of evidence, and we've worked with public finance experts to create a finance approach that would create measurable outcomes for children.
They say it will cost around $50 billion, more than the amount former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau put forward.
If you wish to oppose.
And the AFN rejected.
Every day that we spend discussing the technicalities of an agreement is another day that a child is in care. And that is something that is important to me that we address.
The Indigenous Services Minister says she's determined to bring the two sides together.
It's not just the deadline that I'm concerned about, it's these kids that need us to do our work collaboratively, reflecting the realities.
We cannot take one child and treat the other child differently.
The chair of the National Children's Chiefs Commission says the minister's offer comes too late.
Is it possible that you will be able to create one plan within the next couple of weeks and come together? Do you have any confidence that will happen?
No. Well, that option was there when this came out, when the ruling came out. The option was always there.
It will be up to the Canadian Human Rights Tribunal to decide which solution to move forward to fix the broken on-reserve child welfare system once the Commission and the government make their filings later this month. Olivia Stefanovich, CBC News, Ottawa.
The mayor of Pangnaktu Nunavut has resigned, according to a public notice from the hamlet. Lynn Mike was voted in as mayor in 2023. In a social media post, the hamlet's administration thanked her for her contributions and dedication to the community. It did not provide a reason for her resignation. CBC has reached out to the hamlet and Mike for comment. Pangnaktu will look to the Nunavut Elections Act for the next steps in filling the vacant position. Yukon-based solar company Solvest is 10 years old. The company has come a long way from its early days. In 2015, it had 6 employees working out of a trailer, and today Solvest has more than 60 staff. It's grown to become the largest renewable energy company in northern Canada.
Pretty surreal, honestly. I've been with the company 7.5 years, and so when I joined, we were operating out of a mobile home. There was about 6 full-time employees, and now we've grown to the largest renewable energy company in northern Canada with about 60 employees. And yeah, the growth has been nothing short of amazing.
The success hasn't been without challenges. In 2023, the Yukon Microgeneration Program was put on pause by the Yukon government amid concerns about grid stability. The program allowed homeowners with solar panels to feed excess renewable power into the Yukon grid. The president of Solvest says he's hopeful the program will return.
I will say we're excited for this new government. The Yukon Party brought in the Microgen program originally, and unfortunately it was paused by the Liberals, but we're hoping that with this new government they'll bring that back.
The Yukon Party spokesperson says they're looking at what would be required to restart the program. Right now it's paused until at least January 2026. The North Slave Métis Alliance is partnering with the city of Yellowknife on a copper recycling and diversion program. It's an initiative both parties say will benefit benefit the city, reduce waste, and promote environmental care.
Recycle. So this is a way to reduce solid waste at the landfill and a way to divert materials out of our landfill. Again, it extends the life of landfill cells, and landfill cells are quite expensive to build. So it also means the longer we can make those cells last is less of an economic strain on the city and residents.
The city would provide designated spaces for people to drop off old copper wires like the solid waste facility. The North Slave Métis Alliance would then process the materials to ship and sell. The city wouldn't take on any additional costs for the project's implementation, but it would waive tipping fees. Yellowknife Mayor Ben Hendrickson says City Council is supportive of the project and believes a memorandum of understanding will be signed in January or February of next year. The government of Nunavut is warning of the dangers of social media use amongst youth, and it's encouraging families and educators to help minimize screen time. The GN says nearly 1 in 3 Canadian teen girls spend 5 or more hours a day on social media, and that high screen time can cause mental health issues like anxiety and depression. The territory's acting chief public health officer says it's important for parents to talk to their children about the effects of social media.
Open conversations with children about what they see online and how it makes them feel. So even if people are going online and they are not just imbibing it and, internalizing it, but parents can discuss with them, that could be helpful. Also encourage tech-free routines, especially around bedtime, because sleep is really critical for children.
Adjaman says making small changes like playing games or having family time instead of scrolling can make a big difference. We wanted to know what you think about the risks of social media to young people. Here's what people in Iqaluit said.
They can fall into traps like getting hacked, or because young people, they're really trusting. They can be really trusting, and they can fall for things, and yeah.
There are tons of scams online, and those are very scary, especially if you get caught in one.
How can we better protect children from the dangers of social media?
I think awareness is number one. Talking to your children about it is very important. And in addition, programs out there, government programs should be more prevalent to teach children. I think in the schools, it should start as young as primary school to teach them the responsibility of internet and social media.
If there's one thing I know about Canadians, it's that we're kind. We want to help.
It doesn't take a big star.
Or millions of dollars.
All it takes is one can.
$1.
Or even 1 hour of your time.
In every corner of this country, people give.
To their friends, to their families, to total strangers.
And this season, we will give again.
Starting December 5th, help us make the season kind.
Find ways to give to food banks in your community at cbc.ca/kind.
Choose clicks. Choose the algorithm. Choose doom scrolling at 3 a.m. Choose headlines that scream. Choose fake friends, deep fakes, and comment wars that never end. Choose the chaos. Choose the noise. Or don't. Choose news that's checked, verified, accountable. Choose being there where the stories are. Choose proof over panic. Sense over madness. Choose news, not noise.
Where does bravery live? It lives inside Cynthia Appia, who refuses to let the high cost of sports slow her down.
Deck the halls with, come on!
Let's make a party out of it. Let's have a parade.
Gem, 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 gem. Gem, 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 gem. Stream for the holidays on CBC Gem.
Greatness doesn't start in the spotlight. It starts on frozen ponds, on local trails, in Ottawa, St. John's, Nunavut. We remember where it all began.
Yellowknife residents can continue to access the track at the field house for free. City Council has decided to permanently extend a pilot project from last year. Yellowknife Mayor Ben Hendrickson voted against this last year, but he brought forward the motion on Tuesday night to make this free service permanent after hearing from residents.
But I think for now, again, I saw the impact this year from residents. I heard it plainly and clearly. It convinced me that I was incorrect in my mind for myself. I feel that I was incorrect in how I voted last year. I'd like to remedy that to a certain degree going forward. So that's, again, I stand by that.
The motion passed with 6 voting in favor and 3 councillors voting against. City Council has been discussing various motions as part of budget deliberations. The finalized budget will be voted on next Monday. Learning to skate can be daunting, so some high school students in Betchacon NWT are using a new tool to help: sledges. We went to Chief Jimmy Bruno School to check it out.
So today we're doing some sledge hockey and skating. It's a school trip. So we're doing this bi-weekly so the kids can get some more experience just trying different activities and learning. So sledge hockey is a really great way to get active and pick up skating and build some confidence on the ice, because it can be pretty intimidating with just skates on the ice and, you know, the big learning curve, I guess, that it is to learn how to skate.
It's just, I think it's a big confidence booster. It's something that they've all excelled at really quickly. They've all done so well.
Some of them were initially very afraid of the ice, and now they're out there and they're, you know, doing it all on their own. They're very confident. They're laughing, smiling, and learning all the great skills that come with, you know, sledge hockey and skating.
I was a little scared the first part, and now it was fun.
It's a really great opportunity, and, you know, a big thanks to our school, who's just been working really hard the last couple of years to create more opportunities for our students, and we're very fortunate and very lucky to have such a great team of teachers and staff team.
Researchers in Canada and the United States are looking into the idea of an unexpected benefit of group singing, one that could help stroke survivors who are struggling to speak and communicate. Alison Northcott explains.
Singing together gives members of this choir a chance to use their voices. The singers have all suffered strokes and have developed a condition called aphasia, which affects the ability to speak. Now they're part of a study to see if singing can help their recovery.
We are hoping that this study will demonstrate that choir activity is really good for people, good for their language, but good for their social relation too.
The randomized controlled trial has sites in Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto, and Tampa Bay, Florida. The study involves 12 choir sessions for each group. Serge Balancic has had trouble writing and finding his words since his stroke in 2022. He hopes this study leads to more treatment options.
I like because it gives me occasion to speak, you see, and to find my own voice.
Researchers monitor heart rates and vocal range. It will take a few months for researchers to go through the data and determine if group singing helps improve language skills and quality of life for people with aphasia. Previous research suggests music may help parts of the brain not damaged by a stroke to improve communication through rhythm and pitch.
You want to make sure that...
But more studies are needed, says this stroke neurologist.
There is definitely evidence that these kind of therapies can work, and we will have to see how these trials will end up.
When they start singing, you could just see the soul free up, and it's just so magical to see how much music brings life back.
Belancic is optimistic and hopes others with his condition can one day benefit from an activity like this too. Alison Northcott, CBC News, Montreal.
A new Canadian study is reopening the discussion around the potential benefits and risks of prostate screening. Researchers found a rise in stage 4 diagnoses of prostate cancer a decade after Canada started advising against blood tests for the disease. Anand Ram has the details.
So here's our phone number. If you want to speak with someone.
Dennis Farbstein is helping people navigate their new prostate cancer diagnoses, having gone through it himself years ago.
Had I not been screened, it could have been gone, into other parts of my body, metastatic, and then I would have been in trouble. So for me personally, I was very fortunate.
But screening for prostate cancer through a controversial blood test known as the PSA isn't recommended in Canada. Now, new research suggests a lack of screening means more serious cases.
Metastatic or stage 4 prostate cancer has gone up by 50% in men aged 50 to 74 and by about 65% in men in their late 70s.
The study also looked at prostate cancer deaths over decades. When screening was more widespread, mortality rates dropped. But when guidance shifted to actively not recommend screening, that life-saving progress plateaued.
We can see the way that screening guidelines are impacting prostate cancer outcomes.
But other experts we spoke to disagree with this interpretation, saying we've made huge progress in diagnosing and treating prostate cancers, and still argue that screening, though simple, may open the door to more problems.
The benefits don't always outweigh the harms, and we don't talk about harms often. You will unnecessarily undergo biopsy, you will unnecessarily undergo surgery or radiotherapy. All of those have complications that affect the remainder of the quality of a life.
Make a fist for me?
Advocates argue the blood test should be more widely accessible, and updated Canadian cancer screening guidelines are expected next year.
One of them actually put me in a hospital with sepsis during a biopsy.
Farbstein knows the risks that come with more invasive testing, but ultimately he's been cancer-free for nearly 2 decades and says he's giving back by helping others understand their choices. Anand Ram, CBC News, Toronto.
Tim Hortons is one of Canada's most popular coffee shops, and it may also be Canada's most prominent lobbyist for temporary foreign workers. CBC News has learned the coffee giant has been pushing federal leaders to raise the legal limit on the number of migrant workers it can hire. Rafi Boudjikanian reports.
Over the course of the last 18 months, Tim Hortons and their parent company Restaurant Brands International have been lobbying the government to raise the limits on temporary foreign worker hires. Last year, in a letter released under an access to information request, a company representative wrote to then Immigration Minister Mark Miller asking to raise the cap of TFWs from 20 to 30% of total employee hires. Several months later, the government went the opposite route, lowering the cap to 10% as Canadian views on immigration soured. This year, the company has been lobbying MPs from multiple political parties, the Liberals, the Conservatives, and the Bloc Québécois. In July, Bloc MP Alexis Brunel-Duceppe says the company tried pressing him on raising the cap of TFWs for Tim Hortons stores in his riding from 10 to 20%. Then in October, Miller says the company made the case to extend expiring work permits for TFWs in a smoother fashion. Tim Hortons says it needs flexibility for TFWs, especially in rural or smaller communities.
As an employer, I have a vision. I need people, and they're here as a temporary foreign worker. I've seen many examples where they are able to get permanent residency and stay and become a community member.
The government says it can't predict future policy decisions, but it did design the TFW program with that flexibility in mind. The Conservatives say the program should be abolished, accusing it of importing cheap foreign labor. Rafi Bujikani on CBC News, Ottawa.
Iqaluit's Elders Society is holding a gift donation drive for elders in the community. The society is encouraging community members to donate small gifts.
Oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree.
Members can donate gifts worth $40 or less. The center says it's a great way to support elders at this time of year.
It's something to uplift an elder. Elders are varied in how they can afford things. Some can afford and they're working, others can't. So it depends on their situation.
The Elders Society is accepting donations until the end of this week. Now, let's take a look at your weather. And that is Northbeat for tonight. For news anytime, go to cbc.ca/north. This week, we've been ending our show with music from the Pan-Arctic Vision Music Festival, which was hosted in Iqaluit recently. Tonight, we leave you with Seina's performance. She took home the prize for Most Arctic Song. Thank you for watching. I'm Megan Roberts. Have a good night.
Ay kedahogino Kalengeriman kelbeng Bisli hiram gajiji Hedegal kan bogo pa Erebinin ya ho